My name is Habiba Musa. Welcome to First Age Fashion Class. For today, we are going to learn part of the machine and its uses and a little project at the end of it. The simple machine, especially for beginners, I think is good. We have the balance wheel. Always make sure you move this balance wheel towards you. Basically, it helps to make the stitches, to form the stitches on the fabric. And then we have the spool pin where you place your thread. We have the thread guide, the tension regulator, there's the thread take up. Then we have another thread guide. There's also a thread guide and a thread guide. We have the needle clamp, the needle itself, pressure foot, there's the feed dog, sliding plate where you open and place in your bobbin and bobbin case. Then we have the pressure foot lever. This is used to release tension from the pressure foot. When I take it up, you see it's raised the pressure foot up. When I bring it back, it releases the pressure from the pressure foot to hold the fabric down as you sew. Basically, we have different type of machines, but for me, I would recommend this for a beginner, but they basically do the same work. This is the stitches regulator. It regulates the stitches. It comes with numbers. It starts from 0 to 5. 5 is for gathers. The bigger the number, the bigger the stitch. The smaller the numbers, the narrower the stitch. Basically, the standard stitch for sewing is 2.5. So I'm going to keep it at 2.5. That's the basic stitches. This is a straight stitch sewing machine, which is mostly used for basic stitches. I prefer this for a beginner because it's very simple. But we have other type of machine, like I said, that come with so many knobs, can do the zigzag, and but as the time goes on, for a beginner, I recommend this type of machine for you to use. So for today, we are going to start. This is the bobbin winder, where you wind your thread. For today, we are going to learn how to wind your thread from the bobbin and do a basically foundation stitches. Simple. So first of all, take my thread, I place it on the spool pin. Then I take my bobbin. I have my bobbin. My bobbin here. Yeah, this is the foot paddle where when you place your foot, it helps the machine to move. And the balance wheel, one thing, if you don't want to use the paddle, you can use the machine too. Use it as manual to make a stitch like this. You roll, then the machine starts moving. But with the paddle, when you press, then your machine moves just like you are driving. So for today, we are going to wind our thread and thread the machine and make a simple project for today. So we pull a little of our thread around our bobbin, and you go like this. This is very simple. You hold it with your left hand and your right hand holding your bobbin. You place it here at the bobbin winder. Then you release the tension. You hold it with your left hand still. Then you wind your bobbin like this. You see it's moving. So you wind as many as you can. So the bobbin normally has a sense that when the thread is full, it stops automatically. So you see, when it's full, it stops. Then you release the tension here. You take off your bobbin. Normally you need a small thread, scissors for cutting your thread off. You cut it. Then you open your slide plate. Bring out your bobbin case out. Then there's a lifter here. You hold it like this to release. If you have another bobbin, which I have another bobbin inside, so I'm taking it out of the bobbin case and place it somewhere. And I put in my wind bobbin with the thread. I place it inside. Then there's a space in between your bobbin case. Then I put in, or I swap in my thread and pull it out like this to form a P. I always say a P because it's an easier way to remember, always facing you like this. Then you hold it with your left hand and place it back in the feed lock. Then you press it. It gives you this sound. Like when it sounds, it means your bobbin case is well placed. You put in your thread back and close the slide plate. Now we are going to thread our machine. You put a little from the spool pin, then to the thread guide. Remember, this machine has a lot of thread guide. I think that is why it's very good for a beginner. You place it around your thread guide, then you come underneath your tension regulator. Let it go round. When it goes round, there's a spring. You pass it on the spring, then underneath a thread guide. Then this is the most important part. You place your thread. There's a hole in between the thread take-up. You make sure your thread is well thread. You should pass through all the guides. Then you put it in between the thread take-up lever, which is very important. If you escape this part, your machine is not going to sew. So remember always to follow the steps. Then another thread guide, then another thread guide, then your hook. Then we have this is a needle clamp. I think I didn't make. Then you thread your machine. Then you place your hand on your balance wheel manually. You hold your thread with your left hand. Then you roll it towards you, always towards you, not away from you, to pick out the thread in the bobbin case like this. You see, it pulls it out automatically. Then you hold the two thread and check out the tension. The tension from the machine and the bobbin case should be balanced. If it's not well balanced, another one, your stitches will not form well, especially the one under will not form well. If the machine is not thread well from the top, it will not form well from down. But if it's not well thread from down, so it will not form well from the down of the machine. So take notice. So you pull it, and then there's a space in between your pressure foot. You place the thread back like this. You see, there's a thread coming from top and under. These two come together to interlock to give you the seam. The seam is the stitches. That's from when you wind your machine manually, or you press with the pressure. You press with the foot pressure. The stitch that forms is called seam. For today, we are going to do a very, very simple project, which I call it foundation stitches. This will help you to know how to sew, basically to make your stitches like straight, square, V, U, however you want it. In fact, it helps you to, it's kind of how to make straight stitches, whether crooked, whether pivoting, circle, or what have you. It helps you to be creative with stitches. So first of all, you need a fabric, a piece of material. I normally recommended this type of fabric. They are very cheap to buy. So I don't know which country you are. If you are in Ghana, you can get Africa, you can get what we call grey bafts. Those are very, very affordable. But apart from that, if you are in the European countries, you get what we call the scraps. There's this plain material which is very, very affordable. That is what I have. And I have cut it. You can see. That's what I did. I have cut a sample. This is 7 by 6 inches. I work with inches. Some work with centimeters. I work with inches. So I'll cut a piece to demonstrate. Always when you are sewing, you need the fabric should be double. Always it should be double like this. So first of all, if you're a beginner, you placed, okay, you measure. Let me demonstrate. You measure. This is what I mean. 7 by, this is my 7. You need to have your pencil. This is my pencil. You need the lighter pencil as possible. The HB is very light. So you mark your 7 inches here. You make a dot. Then you try to connect down. Sorry. Yeah, 7 by 6 here. Then you take your ruler. And connect. You take your rule, and you need a ruler to connect. Make sure your line is not that deep. Because you are a beginner, you need all this to guide you to cut straight. You take your scissors. Make sure you cut at a stroke with your left hand. Place on it like this to control the fabric from moving. Cut at a stroke like this. Don't cut like this, you won't get it straight. But at a stroke like this and this, that way. That helps you to get a straight cut. So when you get one like this, you place it on the rest of the fabric you have. Make sure they are equal. You always pin, especially for beginner. For me, I can use my hand, but I'm just demonstrating for my class to see. You pin to help your fabric from, then you place your hand, your left hand, pin your finger. Always cut at a stroke like this, like that. You see, don't go like this, no, like this, or else your cutting will not be straight. Then that's just an example. You can make as many as you want by trying. So for today we are doing what we call foundation. See, my pieces, they are 2. You always need 2 like this. You put them together like this. Then you pin them. You pin them like that. You see, to prevent it from moving. Like this. At the corners. At the corners like that. You take your pencil once again. We are going to make straight lines. So you place your tape measure. And then you mark from the beginning of the tape, where the gold metal is. You make a point. Then from that point, you mark half an inch. Half. So where the fabrics end. Half of an inch, half. You see, if your fabric is straight, it will end equal. If it's not straight, then you have a problem. So you do the same thing to the lower part. You start where the gold metal is. Half, half. This will guide you to get a straight stitch. Half, half, half. Remember, always is half. Half, 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 and half. You see, you take your ruler now, then you connect the lines. You can now take out your pins and connect the lines. It is very thin, don't dip in it. This is just a guide. You connect your lines. You are using this to learn how to make straight stitches. Straight, very straight. Half, you connect them. Connect the lines like that. Connect and connect the lines. You can see my line is very thin. It's not deep. Halved. Connect the lines now. So we are connecting the lines. You see? Connect the lines. If you don't have a working area, then you need to get a bigger table where you can connect half. You see my lines are connected. I'll take out my pins and pin them. This is called pin cushion, which you can make it yourself. I did mine myself. And then you connect your lines. This is very good for a beginner in order to get straight. You connect it. You can do many as possible. So we place this one aside. Then you can do the same thing, like you turn the fabric this time, maybe horizontal, and cross them like the same method, like this. You cross it half, 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 always half, half with inches. If it's in centimeter, you use your centimeter like that. And then the same way, always start with where the metal is. Half, 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 half. Always is half, 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 and connect the lines. So you are going to cross it. You see? So you cross it like that. This we are trying to make like a how do you call it? A crossed. We make straight, then we cross it. You see? So you can do it to the end. I'll put it aside. Then we can do this one too, which I've already started because of time. What we call pivoting. It's a type of stitches. It's a stitches, but it's a stitches you start. You get to a point, you have to raise the pressure foot and then lift and turn the fabric. In the process of turning, it's called pivoting, which you form in 90 degrees. So with this, you divide your fabric. You have your 7 inches by 6. You find the middle point of the fabric, like the 7 inches by 6. You divide it, which is 3. You make a point. From that point, then you make from that point in the middle where you take a ruler and make a very thin line. Then from this thin line, you move half an inch at the side, then another half there, another half. You leave this point out. You take a rule, you try to connect those points. So you start like this, you connect this one, then you go like this, you connect that and connect this line. Then you take your tape measure, you move half from the top again, then you move half a side of that point to this point, another half. Then from that point, you try to connect this line together, which will guide you. So you take it from there, you join this line, and then that's the same thing with this your half, that you are trying to make a square, like a quilt. Then you go like that, half, half. Then when you keep on doing that to make a square, then you move another half again. Now you form a square. So from this side and side, like you form a triangle. So you stand at each point, each corner of the triangle, they make half, half, another half, half. Then you try to connect those points. If you do it like the way I am saying, you get this square triangle, forming as many as possible. We put that one aside our time. Then we take the third one. We are going to work on a circle, how to make a circle stitch for today. So the same thing, sewing is about mathematics. You put your tape measure 6, and you look for your 6, yeah, by 7. You find the middle point of the fabric. Another way of finding the middle, you can fold your fabric like this into 2 equal parts. Then you use your tip of your finger, thumb finger, to press it on like this. You see, and then another fold, and then pressed like this. You open it up, so you get the middle point of it. So where your middle point, we are trying to be creative here. Your middle point, you start to try to make a circle. It's not going to be easy, but learn it. You see, I'm forming as much a circle as I can, and I'm spacing them not so close, but very tiny. I'm not pressing my hand, so my pencil will not be dipping. It's what I'm doing. I'm going round, 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 round. So where it ends, I'm ending here. You see? So for today, before you start sewing, your thread, remember always to bring your thread, the thread from the spool pin, and then the one coming out from the bobbin case, in between where the space is from the pressure foot. So I'm going to start with the straight stitches. Look at what I'm doing. I put it in between the feed dog and the pressure foot. Then I release my pressure bar down to release the tension from the pressure foot to hold the fabric down. You see, and I use my hand manually on my balance. So you release your pressure foot down to and then it holds the fabric together. Then which I've set my machine 2.5. You place your fabric, you release your pressure foot and place the fabric. We end this video here, and then you try much as possible, create many lines with design. In our next class, we are going to sew. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.